Welcome back, episode 114 of Revisited, and how long has it been since we did Bonsai Pop? I think it was last year, as a matter of fact, a Naruto video. We are talking about how Hunter x Hunter nailed it by Bonsai Pop. People do not like when we do Hunter x Hunter, understandably so, because it's one of those series that are widely regarded as good. Like for Demon Slayer, people go, the animation, we get it, the music, the voice acting, we get it, the story isn't great, blah, 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 blah. They, on some level, understand the good they're speaking on is strictly based on the anime and little else. But for Hunter x Hunter, it's the storytelling, it's the characters, it's the world, that type of thing. So when we're trashing a thing that's widely regarded as good and things that people like, it's a little bit different than trashing a Naruto.
We did not do Naruto last year. We did that in Naruto month.
Which was
like 2 years ago.
Jesus. Okay. Description, boys.
Hunter x Hunter nailed shonen anime. It breaks all the rules.
Then how did it nail it if it doesn't follow the conventions of it?
It breaks all the rules as a statement to formulaic conventions. You need it in your life. Check it out.
What rules did it break?
Why is it always the different? Because Phil is talking about this very recently.
Oh, dude.
A lot.
He is going crazy right now.
When he talks about stuff like games and stuff, he's like, why is this lauded? Oh no, it was more. It was what was that? What was that dude? Scott the Woz. It was like, why is he popular? What did he innovate? Yeah. How is he different?
What's unique about him?
It's like, Phil, what's unique about you? You put the mirror up. If all your whole thing is what's unique about it, not what's good about it. What's unique about you, number one. Number two, this goes into Hunter x Hunter. It's like, does it just need to be unique? And
yes, because
even unique.
Because even going to the Phil thing, the reason he was popular was because he was unique. Was because there wasn't a lot of people doing the things he was doing. So once a lot of people started doing the things he did, he's no longer unique, and now he has to stand on his own too with his commentary, with his personality and stuff. Otherwise, he just falls to the wayside, which is literally what happened. So with Hunter x Hunter, people have to say it's unique, because if it's not unique, it has to stand on its own 2 feet with its storytelling, its characters and stuff. And even though that's lauded, even though that's praised, they'll recognize very quickly that is just things they've seen in so many other things. So are you praising those characters, the world, all that stuff because of its uniqueness? And once that's stripped away and you just read it as a story, is it still as good to you?
Hunter x Hunter, man.
It does something to people. It definitely does something to people.
Do something to people.
I don't think My Hero does things to people. Nowhere near, as far as video analysts, nowhere near the level of a Naruto, of a Bleach. Bleach does something to people.
I will say this: give it time.
I mean, for what? We're at the end.
Yes, the end is gonna blow people. It's odd because I would say that you're right where it doesn't do something. I was thinking like in terms of like New Gen. Jujutsu Kaisen does things to people.
Yes.
It's less so with My Hero. It still happens.
Oh,
people
it's always
still
gonna
are
happen.
wilding out.
It's always going to happen with any level of hype with a battle shonen. People are going to clap real hard for some stuff. But it just doesn't do what it does for, like I said, a Bleach. People go crazy if you talk negative about Bleach. Crazy.
I would say check the My Hero Reddit when they.
That's not fair.
When a chapter comes
it's
out.
the most condensed version of those types of people. So it's like going into a room with 90 smelly mothers. Whereas if you just get one smelly muff in a big old hole, It's like, I might not smell that muff, but I'm gonna smell some muffs.
I'm just saying, it's very interesting to read. Because my dander's already up. I'm already pissed as I read that. Where they're just like, Bakugo. It's like, of course, this is...
Why wouldn't you give it a day? Because you know you're going to get pissed.
I can't. I'm in the moment now.
Let me go see what these muffs said about it. Yo, maybe 10 out of 10. He cooked with this chapter.
Maybe 30% of the people are just like, no, wait a second. This is buns. No.
What's the percentage?
I always gotta sort by controversial because they get thumbs down where they just go, yo, what?
This is not
wishing energy. Yeah, it was foreshadow with night eyes. It's like, mother, foreshadowing don't mean it's good. It can be bad in foreshadow. Yes. Who gives it? And it's like 4 months that just say something, and then after that, it was just like, the art's not that good this week, but the chapter itself was amazing, and that's like 4 down votes. It's bad there.
Yes, of course. It's the My Hero subreddit. What do you expect?
Dissenting opinions, conversations, back and forth.
If there was a large manga subreddit where it's just, we're going to discuss the latest chapter of whatever manga. Okay.
It's manga Reddit.
But it is, do they discuss like My Hero? Yeah. Okay, you might get the opinions there of just like, yeah, this is not cooking. And if that's the case, stop going to the place.
I need to get
why am I getting stabbed at the stabbing convention? Well, it's your fault.
How did they rent this building?
So they threaten them with a knife.
when the new chapter comes out, I go to Reddit, I go to manga Reddit, and I go to 4chan. All of them I gotta sift through. 4chan especially.
Why? No, why are you going to 4chan?
Because there are people. There's very few places where there's just conversations about things. And some of them are rational, and some of them are just F-slurs. And that's their point. And it's like, look, I don't need you. Can we just get back to why the thing doesn't make sense? You're not adding to the conversation, sir.
Boy, I sure do love the Hitler podcast. Not the 58 minutes of kill, not the genocide
I like
part,
the other stuff.
but the 2 minutes of rational conversation I get.
A funny ad read this week. Both can be true. You can like the thing and then deride the thing you can be in the place of like, yo, this sucks. And you know where you are. You can do that. You can be in the stabbing conventions like, no, I would check out a stabbing convention.
Absolutely.
And then if I got stabbed, I would not be surprised.
Okay, but you're surprised by going to the subreddit. Just like, are y'all serious?
Because you get those certain number of people that are like, no. And it's like, okay, why does this person, but not all of y'all?
Because it's never going to be that. People are, whatever series they're attached to, they will just consume and love.
I wonder how this will be looked at 3 years from now, My Hero.
I honestly wonder how Hunter x Hunter will be looked at 5 years from now.
What, when they have 2 more chapters?
I wonder how it would be looked at if it's ever completed, like 3 years after its completion. Because the reason Hunter x Hunter is still kind of in the zeitgeist of the community's mind is because it is technically still an ongoing series. So once it's done, is it just going to be like a Yu where people 5 years after its completion go, yeah, Hunter x Hunter?
I don't think so. I think there's a lot to say about, especially the production of Hunter x Hunter, with the long breaks and how they're just allowing this and they're not. Because I keep saying, just hand it off to somebody else. Let him keep writing. Maybe let him do a manuscript. But he's not producing the thing that the people want. And I don't see why. There's money being left on the table. And artistic integrity and all that.
He clearly doesn't care about the money. He wants the artistic integrity.
He can't do it. I'm talking about more Shonen Jump. They'll crack a whip.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, you cannot
hear the Mappa stuff?
How bad are you where the Japanese are just like, no,
we're being overworked.
Because they are, I'm not being xenophobic or whatever, but they are very much of a, hey, it is what it is.
It's their culture to be like, yeah, you're going to be working 11-hour days, shrug shoulders.
Sleep in your office. Here's, right across the street from you, there's a little in bed pod that you can sleep in for 2 hours and then come right back. This is the culture. And for them to be like, whoa, this is crazy. What were they doing?
They said they needed. They asked for a delay, and they were like, "No." I mean, you're animating hours before it airs. You're completing episodes hours before air.
How are you not? This is a cash cow.
Weekly.
You know money is coming in with this. This is not some rank and file. It sold 100,000 copies all up and it's on its 20th volume type of thing where they just put something out and then everybody, the people that like it are happy. Some people know about it more. People know about JJK. People are praising JJK. People love JJK. You would think that they would put some iota of care into this and just go, let's treat our people right, put out the best possible product because we know it's going to get a return.
It's even worse because this was announced 1.5 years ago. So the contracts, the animator, all that stuff was already laid out. Why wasn't production started 6 months before the week before it's supposed to air?
I do not understand the industry that it can be like this.
Because all their best animators were being put on things like Chainsaw Man. So the second that ends, all right, slide on over to, and we can't take you off of Chainsaw Man because that's airing now. So keep it going and then slide right on over, yeah, boy.
It's just nuts.
It's a
how
cool.
do you,
and all these people just I saw so many gifs. Yo, they cooked with this Jujutsu Kaisen episode, and I'm like, these people are dying.
Yeah,
so y'all can gift some on Twitter and then forget about it 3 months later. How many people are talking about the entertainment district? What's one thing in the past chapter? I mean, the past arc of Demon Slayer that's being talked about today?
People, animators out there, $1,200 a month, and they're still working them jobs. What did they do to make them quit? How bad? Yeah, 3 episodes by tomorrow. We haven't even started. We don't have the voice lines already. Get to it.
And it's funny because now they're either going to be worse animated or they're gonna have to delay it.
Yeah,
and
it looks bad on the studio to be like, look, we're delaying this thing. You guys know the reason. What can you say?
So if you would have run that back, if you would have just delayed it in the first place,
you would have distinct lines coming from you.
Boy, it's about to be
in UFO table. They've got the tax thing. Now you got these slave workers over here. You know who's good? Key Animation.
There you go.
Canon 2006.
Oh my god.
Fantastic. Pays people well, does well.
Minimal projects so they can get the time to do the stuff they need to do.
And nuts. You're gonna make 200 mil from this product, and you paying these months maybe 500,000 for everybody.
For the year.
Corporate is just greasy,
dude. It's a perpetual, infinite growth. We need to be 2.2% year-over-year increase every year for the next 1,000,000 years. For what end?
It's not like this is better because one of the VAs for, I think it was one of the main characters of Jujutsu Kaisen 0 was just like, hey, this movie made 120 million worldwide. My paycheck was $350. Yep. No residuals. It's like, throw them something.
It's crazy. It's cool town, dude.
We gotta get into this video.
Yeah. I mean, we just did our podcast now.
This is it. We done did the thing.
Mike, just cut it out, add it in, you sicko.
Despite its happy-go-lucky Dragon Ball-esque opening, Hunter x Hunter is not an anime to be taken lightly. Last week we talked about...
Is Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
It's
outside
more...
of like slice of life, what is an anime that is to be taken seriously?
Or lightly.
Lightly. Like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
You look at that, it's like card games, and then he's mind crushing people and changing their whole way of life. Like, I got your granddaddy episode 3.
Kaiba threatened suicide over the kidnap of his brother after his soul was taken along with Yugi's grandfather.
An anime to be taken lightly. Last week we talked about my favorite show of all time, Yu Yu Hakusho, so I figured in closing out the month of Shonember, we should wrap up with its...
I don't like that name. I'm not a particular fan of that name, I'll say. Not the best.
Hey, guess where we're in right now?
November.
Up with its little brother, Hunter x Hunter.
But
Though exceedingly different, both of these series were the brainchildren of a man named Yoshihiro Togashi, whom I only briefly mentioned last time. And while they share the same DNA, Yu Yu and Hunter x Hunter are extremely different beasts. While Yu Yu worked to perfect the archetypical shonen power fantasy, Hunter x Hunter is about chewing that archetype up and spitting it out. It's the difference between
I would like to know, based upon the last his Yu Yu Hakusho video, how it is the archetypical shonen power fantasy, because somebody uses plants.
Yusuke gets stronger.
What is a power fantasy? Somebody,
yes, and how is Hunter x Hunter not that?
I want to be strong, and they showcase that strength. Isn't that basically your personality dictates your power? You can have any power that you want based upon your personality.
And they got stronger.
And they get stronger. Enough to where it's just like, hey, this door is like 120 tons. And then they're pushing the door. 4 or 5 of them. Dude can push 10, 20 tons. That's not a power fantasy? It must just not be a power fantasy because he doesn't win or whatever. I don't know what this all this time later, I don't necessarily know what the power fantasy, what that argument is.
It's one of those things. Oh, my phone's over there. Charging. Charging.
Get you a long cord.
What, you can't?
You almost said you can't. What is your excuse?
None.
Get a cord.
I literally bought weights like yesterday.
What are you doing? It's like, oh, it's over there. I can't. There's no way that technology just isn't here yet. I'm sorry.
Now,
I have to wait.
I'm going to get up.
Unbelievable. Get a cord. I can give you a cord.
I need a fast charging cord. The ones I bought are supposed to be fast charging, but they're actually not.
Get Anchor. You always go Anchor.
I love Anchor. I just
didn't. And now look at you.
Yeah, getting up.
3 hours to charge your phone at 40%.
It's somewhere around there.
That's not inaccurate times.
I just really wanted to look up power fantasy. Standing against the bully, blah, 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 blah. Standing against the bully, we'll just get into the power fantasy. Power fantasy are fine, mostly because they're exploitative and escapist. What is a power fantasy? Okay. Is someone imagining themselves or a proxy character having more power than they really do or even could have?
Okay. How is that not Yu Yu Hakusho? How is that not Hunter x Hunter?
Most stories, especially, always try to show their main character as strong as things other than being violent, courage, that type of thing. I don't.
Yeah, I also don't.
I guess what they mean when they say power fan. No, because Yu Yu Hakusho, that doesn't make any sense. What I was about to say was, maybe it's more so like the male power fantasy of dudes in the 80s, shirts off, big muscular types. That's your Dragon Balls. or like
That's-
manly men fighting and blah blah blah, and that's your Yu Yu Hakusho's. And then it's just a fantasy on top of whatever's going on
But
there.
fighting, I don't.
Whereas this, they're not big muscular man. They're not really they're not manly men. They're just kids.
But you have to define power fantasy.
It's
in
Naruto a
such-
power fantasy.
That's what I'm saying. You have to define it in such a narrow term for this not to be that.
Spitting it out. It's the difference between Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and while Indy was a masterclass in Pulp Fiction, Star Wars created a universe. In this case,
That has nothing to do with which one was the power fantasy.
I think the argument there is Indiana Jones was essentially in our world a hyper realized version of it, where Star Wars created basically everything.
Is that what his argument's gonna be? Because Yu is technically in our world. whereas Hunter x Hunter
The
is-
argument is it's the comparison between our world with a little bit more into it versus creating an entire universe.
Let's see.
in this case, Hunter x Hunter would be Star Wars. Unfortunately, Hunter x Hunter doesn't open up with a grandiose space battle.
And Yu Yu Hakusho wasn't.
Oh yeah, it did create a whole universe. What's the argument here, sir?
Hunter x Hunter doesn't open up with a grandiose space battle to accentuate the massive scale of its world and story. Instead, it starts with an unassuming little kid named Gon who's preparing to take an exam in order to become a hunter. It took me 3 tries to get into this show, but when I finally did, I came out on the other end in an absolute daze, wondering why it took me so long to notice a masterpiece that was
Because it's not a good show.
Why did it take you 3 times? What was the point where you stopped, and why did you
It wasn't
stop?
the same time each time.
Why did you stop at those points?
Like for me, it took me like 5 tries to get through Fairy Tail. The first like episode I couldn't get through. But then once I did, I got through all of it.
Why did you stop, and why did you keep going on that 3rd time? I like these answers. If you're going to introduce the concept of you taking that long to get through it,
And
I would like to know.
it's a masterpiece and you just didn't recognize it on your first 2 viewings.
I'd like to know what you were looking for and how this did not provide that to you.
I wonder how much of these videos would this video be made if people said Hunter x Hunter is trash? Because he said it took him 2 times to get through, and then on the 3rd time he's like, "Oh, it's a masterpiece." Is that because general audiences have been yelling about how great it is,
I think
so he powered through and just like, "Oh, this is great."
everything has its detractors and everything has its fans. Vice versa. If it's good, bad, vice versa.
I'm
there's gonna
strictly
be
talking
somebody.
the loudest.
There's gonna be somebody that's pumping their fist at it. There's Fire Force videos out there. My goodness.
Who could possibly?
My goodness. Now, they're scratching and clawing trying to find one for Platinum End. I think Million found one in Russian that was just kind of positive. But I'm sure there's somebody out there with the idea that they're just like, maybe I'll put it to paper one day. So yes, I do believe that a
That
video
should be
like
our April
this,
Fool, just a positive Platinum End video. Our first typical video is just a positive Platinum End video.
might as well ask me to push the 20-ton door.
to notice a masterpiece that was right under my nose. A series created by a man who was sick enough of the rules and confines of a genre to
The confines of the he's breaking free, motherfuckers.
Your jump title has to be this.
Yes.
I guess Death Note just was the same as Dragon Ball. They all just have to be Dragon Ball.
I guess if you have these conventions, you are automatically, there are just 50 different Narutos, all because the formula is there, so they're all just selling 120 million volumes. Just do this. Why? If you must not want to sell if you don't want to do this, so you're the issue here if you're not making money. I hate this argument.
Especially if there's no argument presented for it.
There's no formula.
This is why I wonder if a video like this would be made, or a lot of the other Hunter x Hunter videos, if people weren't just constantly screaming how much is breaking the conventions of shonen genre and all that stuff. Battle shonen, I should say, since shonen's not a genre.
Confines of a genre to cut loose and create something better. This is Hunter x Hunter. Let's get into it. Hi everybody, thanks so much for watching. This is Mike. I'm coming to you from a super real place right now.
I like the neck tattoo.
Yeah.
I like the neck tattoo a lot, Mike.
But that's one of them things where you're not corporate. You're not. You are. You know what you are.
Yeah,
if you're a tattoo
you're never
artist,
gonna be.
You're not gonna be.
Or it's turtlenecks every day.
You from a super real place right now. Due to looming changes for YouTube in 2020, we at Bonsai Pop are starting a massive crowdfunding campaign to make sure that we ensure the longevity of this channel's future. If you're
Well, it must have worked because they're still going, I believe.
Yeah, or maybe they just got better with COVID and.
please check out our video that we did on Kappa and YouTube last week. TLDR, right now we are working very hard to raise our Patreon to $6,000 a month. There are 4 of us. We all work on the channel. We split evenly. That is the bare minimum the 4 of us need to survive month to month.
There's your free clip for the episode. That one's for free. The next one's gonna cost you. What was that? The child protection something?
COVID, let's see. Oop. Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Tell me where those kids live. They don't deserve rights.
Month to month. Right now, if 6% of our audience donated $1 a month, we would be over budget. Our Patreon community are some of the best people you could ever hope.
Can I just say that typically your audience, subscribers or viewers, are not technically your audience. A lot of them subscribed a long time ago and just kind of forgot about you. There's bot channels that just mass subscribe to people.
There's people who subscribe to you because they like that Rurouni Kenshin video and they're waiting for more stuff that they like.
They're not necessarily a fan of you, just whatever happened in that situation. It's a nitpick of the thing, but it's just one of those things I always see. It's just like, hey, if just 5% of the people that it's not that number.
And if you notice them down in the comments with the hashtag #ProudPatron, feel free to hit them up and ask some questions. We hope to see you in the Patreon Discord. Now let's get on with the show. Give it 3 episodes. We've all heard this before from somebody, but Hunter x Hunter is one of those shows.
I don't need to give anything any amount of episodes.
Yeah.
I personally will just go, okay, I've reached the point where this is not going to be for me. Sometimes they'll take the entire series. I'll watch an entire series of something I'm just kind of on. Talk to me about Gotham. Talk to me.
3 parts of JoJo.
3 whole parts of JoJo's I went through. 4 before I started liking the series.
Yeah, there's just sometimes I was just like, no, Even I got through 3/4 of an episode of Darling in the Franxx, and I was just like, no, this is not for me.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't get through the first episode of Fairy Tail like 3 times.
Easy episode.
It tells me everything I need to know about Fairy Tail, and it was not something I was going to be gravitating
I think
towards.
the beginning of the 2nd episode tells you everything, where they introduce everybody.
It told me enough of what Fairy Tail was going to be.
Fairy Tail.
So yeah, if people can attach to a series based off a single episode, people can go on a series based off a single episode.
Important to note that Hunter x Hunter is a deconstruction of this.
Yeah, it is. It is important to note.
Is he going to explain how it is?
Yes, I believe so.
We've said...
No, I know. And I will continue to be wrong because I will continue to put my faith in people. The day that you hear me say no is the day that this channel ends. This month's gonna explain it. I'm gonna get made fun of because he's not. And in the next episode, I'm like, he's gonna explain it.
All right, Superman. They're Lex Luthor in you every week. It's just like, you could do good this time, Lex. I believe in you. Oh, another kryptonite gun.
Shows. It's important to note that Hunter x Hunter is a deconstruction of the standard shonen battle anime. Everybody likes to point this out because it's arguably what defines the show, and it makes you sound smart. However, what it means for the narrative of Hunter x Hunter is far broader than a simple diversion of expectation. Togashi-san is an intelligent man, and I would argue that he has a bit of an anti-authoritarian streak in him. It's widely known that he waved the white flag on Yu Yu Hakusho, leaving the series to end in a way that largely—
Hey! Deconstruction! If everyone says this, why are you making this video on the widely accepted thing that everybody knows about? What are you doing with this video?
He goes, they say it to make it seem like they're smart, when in actuality it means more than what they say, I guess. And if you don't explain what that more is, it's going to be a problem. But we've got 11 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time. Plenty old time.
leaving the series to end in a way that largely disappointed fans. However, I feel his pain. The life of a mangaka is very similar to the life of a YouTuber. You're expected every week to produce a certain amount of entertainment, and after years—
Oh, no. That's separate types of...
Yeah.
Because a YouTuber can make 2 videos a year and have a living. H-Bomber Guy does that. Sean does that.
I don't expect that from them.
Yeah, no. Whereas someone like DSP makes 12 streams a week and is begging every day. Like, it's all about the expectations you've placed on yourself based on the content you've put out. Super Eyepatch Wolf doesn't need to put out a anime video every week to sustain whatever he's got going on. It just is what it is. Whereas Anime Wins is begging per video at this point.
Has his Patreon gone down? I hope that it has.
Why? He's suffering.
Come on.
Has it gone up or down?
I should not have looked.
Oh no, that means it went way up.
$2,400 a month.
For what?
Wasn't it in like the thousands?
Yes, it was like 1,300.
What happened?
All that begging happened and it worked.
What happened?
What is his latest video?
Wins or sins?
Wins, because people don't care much about the sin. They want their shows to be good and they want to clap for their good.
7 Deadly Sins was 8 hours ago.
Oh no. Oh no, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
4 days ago. Everything great about One Piece.
Oh yeah, you didn't see them linking that to us?
I didn't.
In the Discord? And I said that he started, now he wants to do it because One Piece is popping in a live action and is in the zeitgeist people's mind. And so now he's going to do it after dropping it because he ain't like it.
Oh, we need to talk. Number go down.
Oh yeah, no. That was his big begging video.
Oh.
You didn't hear that either?
No, I didn't.
Dude, you think I got my ear to the ground for Anime Wins? It was all in the Discord.
When?
It was like 4 days ago, I guess. Yeah, it was just like,
oh man, number go down?
Basically, it was just like, guys, I need this amount to sustain this channel.
And the mom got to him.
Yeah.
They gave him.
Yeah.
Guys, we need...
years, it can get overwhelming. But I'd like to offer a different theory as well. While it's clear that Togashi-san isn't in love with the process of manga production, I believe he quit Yu Yu Hakusho because he realized it wasn't what he wanted to create any longer. You can see his frustration in Yusuke when he laments about the constant influx of bigger and badder enemies. While obviously frustrating to a person in Yusuke's situation, these are also the creative trappings of creating a shonen battle rag.
Isn't that what happened in Hunter x Hunter? All the enemies started getting bigger and badder. Yeah. To the point where the greatest arc just had the biggest baddest. Yeah, I don't think you can scale back. You can have a more because this chapter Black, he could have done a you aren't necessarily the strongest, but you do have a hack that I need to get around.
Yes. Like the Kurama fight with the words. Truly one of the best. Truly one of the best.
Now, that wouldn't have been a good final fight, obviously.
No, absolutely not. Especially not for Yusuke.
But you can do something like that. It is also, again, like we said, not with One Piece. Put all of East Blue in a battle royale. Arlong is probably taking it, but who's second place? I can't say that Kuro is definitively stronger or weaker than Krieg. I can't say that. Into Foxy, into Lucci. Enru stomping Lucci.
Crocodile.
They're probably still Enru and Crocodile probably stalemating. But those are fights where you have to get around something. It's not just about strength, because if it was just about strength, Luffy's getting washed. So it is possible, and it has been done.
And continues to be so. Like, is Sensui even strong? I have no idea. I can't remember if he's strong.
I would need to rewatch it. I don't remember.
It's been a long time since I've seen.
Because that's not my I'm not looking for strength. I'm looking for the hey, play this game.
No, that's what
I'm looking for.
In Yusuke versus Sniper, that's what I want.
Hey, I'm stepping on your shadow, muffin.
Oh, you done stop.
Of creating a shonen battle rag of the power fantasy. For example, Dragon Ball Z. Right now, Goku has reached past the point of godhood by the end of Super. Where can he possibly go from here? In order to maintain the drama of overcoming adversity, the power levels in that series have had to reach above and beyond absurdity.
What does he mean he's gone beyond godhood? Because he did that before when he beat, when he surpassed King Kai. Mm-hmm. What does he mean? It's just this tier of goddom, and then they can always pull the camera back and be like, oh, it's stronger. And he also debatably, because there are debates about who could win this version of Goku versus Beerus.
Don't do that.
There are those debates because he couldn't beat Jiren, who is definitively stronger than the God of Destruction. Mm-hmm. So we don't know if this Goku. Now, later times we can talk about that, but that's also manga stuff where the manga canon is different from the anime. I know the arguments. Don't worry about it. But even then, because they're just like, oh, Beerus is training and getting stronger and stuff like that. So Beerus and Vegeta sparred, and Vegeta isn't that much weaker than a Goku in the manga timeline. So, and Vegeta got washed when Beerus got kind of serious. So who's to say that Goku can be? The argument is there depending. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
There should be no argument.
Hey, Dan, why do you know all this? Because I get very bored at work. All right.
How bored could you possibly be?
Extraordinarily sometimes. I can show you on Fridays after 4 o'clock because my schedule is stupid. Give me my 410s. You looked me in my eyes and you told me I was going to get my... But that's a different thing. Mm-hmm. I can show you where I'm just 2 hours without a call.
Terrible.
What am I meant to do during that time? Something productive? Or do I look up Ultra Instinct Goku versus Ultra Ego Vegeta?
The productive one?
Well, that's just, there's no time for that. I've got power scaling to listen to.
17 hours of power scaling and 2 hours left of work.
How Universal was, stronger than multi-universal in certain aspects.
So was T23 cooking? with the omni-universal versus regular universal. But multiversal could be...
He is a hack fraud.
He's not a fraud.
He is a hack fraud. Not only did this mother create universal instinct and omni-universal, but then he made him fight. He couldn't even put him on the opposite ends of the bracket and just get knocked out. One of them was like, no, this one is definitively stronger. And then we just, why have the other one? Because he has so few adjectives to describe a Goku that he just has to just go.
Ultra Saiyan Goku isn't something that you wouldn't come up with after hours of thinking upon it?
How did you not a minute ago say that he's not a hack fraud?
I didn't say he wasn't a hack fraud. I said he wasn't a fraud.
Make the argument.
Fraudulent means that he's delivering something. He's not delivering on his promise. He is a man that does nothing but delivers on those promises. Now, those promises may be trash. I will never argue against that. But he is not lying to the people. He is not defrauding the public with Dragon Instinct Goku. I promised what would happen if he was raised by Beerus, and I'm telling you what I think would happen if he was raised by Beerus.
Fair enough. Definition agrees with you.
There you go. He is a hack.
I'm sticking to it because it's funnier.
Head in that direction from issue 1. Hunter x Hunter is a clear sign that Togashi-san had higher aspirations. While it's obvious that he still wanted to create stories of physical struggle between opposing forces, he no longer wanted to take the Cold War approach of stockpiling muscles and power levels. So instead...
But there was one guy who was naught but muscles!
And there was one guy who was naught but a power level.
There's a guy who can, if he twists his arm, the more he twists his arm, the harder he can do the big punch.
And it was somebody who is the strongest mother we've seen in the series so far in the anime, who was just a power level, had no special Nin or anything. He was just a strong Nin mother.
There's a guy that can put on armor and just like, oh, I can do a spirit bomb that has the heat of the sun. Don't tell me that he doesn't do these things. And because he does other things.
If he really wanted to do that, then the final arc of Yu Yu Hakusho could have been more of the psychic type of stuff instead of just a big Demon World tournament. Because he had the foundation of the psychic stuff. Yeah, that beat.
So instead, he created a universe. While Gon is the focal point of the narrative, one of the best things about him is that he's essentially nobody in the big scheme of things and has no aspirations to—
Who's Yusuke?
In the grand scheme of things, absolutely, but he is one of... He is what? Of the people that we know the strength of. He's rivaling the king with his full potential. Who else can we say that of? The second strongest character that we know of was getting baby moded by him. But gone full potential, where he looks like 20, 25, he's rivaling the king. Who else is that?
More than that. All he wants to do is make friends, go on adventures, and you know, maybe find his dad, which inevitably mixes him up in a series of large-scale ordeals of the Italian Job and North Korea variety. However, at his core, he is still just a happy, infectiously positive little kid who's stronger than your average bear. The first arc
but Luffy wants to go on an adventure, the best adventure that leads to the One Piece.
What is the difference between what he said and Ichigo?
He can't mention that because it hurts the argument. Because the argument here is different. And then once you bring in similarities, you have to go, okay, different is out the window. Now it has to be something else, like you said earlier.
Leaving his closed-off island to take part in the Hunter exam, where he meets and befriends Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio. Together, the four of them become the main cast, which I put in heavy quotations, but we'll get there. The first arc makes it abundantly obvious that becoming a hunter is no easy task, but at the same time, it slowly reveals the ambiguity behind the goal of becoming one. A hunter isn't a set job, it's more of a pass, a status symbol which allows an individual more privileges for being exceptional enough to pass that exam. For someone like Gon who wants nothing but adventure, having a hunter license opens all borders for him to explore. It's a means to an open end and has very little to do with achieving various power levels, which many hunters never even bother with. In fact, if you pay attention, the exam itself is passable regardless of your physical strength. While there is a standard level of endurance an entry must have, after that, be it brains or brawn, or in Gon's case a little of both mixed with some pure stubbornness, whether you pass or fail the hunter exam is on you, not the rules of the exam.
But then when Killua goes to go get his hunter exam because he failed the first time, he walked into a room and walks out having defeated everybody, and they just went, here you go.
Like, is this the standard hunter exam, or does the hunter exam change depending on when it takes place, the year, the whims of the chairman?
This arc also stands to set up the wide variety of characters who travel in and out of Gon's life or disappear never to be seen again. This is arguably one of the most subtle yet prolific aspects of Hunter x Hunter, the world building. Each and every character has their own motives and goals, making the world of Hunter x Hunter feel inhabited and mysterious.
Every character in every series has their own goals and motivations.
Whether we know it or not, they do. They exist. They're there.
Are you telling me that all the characters of Yu Yu Hakusho did not want different things? Are you telling me all the characters of Naruto don't want different things? What is the goal of like half of the Spider Clan? What is their want?
What is Pink Black Man? What's his story?
What does he want?
He's just some guy.
He's just a dude.
Yes, he has a story and everything, but like again, what doesn't, where you just go, there's no story to 80% of these people. It's all about Goku. There is no thing like that. This is a hollow praise to just go, they have their own wants and desires.
And that's world building?
While we're watching Gon, everybody else comes and goes as they please, living their lives and progressing on their own personal paths.
That muff showed up one time to die. Don't act like he's somebody.
Get him off the poster.
He's a shock death.
So that happens in Naruto. That happens in Bleach. That happens in Yu Yu Hakusho. What are we talking about?
Only get to see where they've reached when they come back into contact with Gon. He is our epicenter for the show's purpose, but he's blatantly not the epicenter of that universe. It and everyone in it continues to evolve and change despite us not seeing them, and that's what really gives the world building realism and mystique, which keeps us glued to the screen waiting.
That is truly not world building. Characters are doing things when we don't see them is not world building.
That's also not unique. Because Grimmjow gets beaten by Ichigo, but then later comes back in the last arc and like, yeah, I'm stronger. He's doing stuff that we didn't see. This is not unique. Stop. It's just something that's happening.
This and talk about what's happening.
This is nothing.
Why it's good. Why the things that are happening is good. Not because it's unique, but because the things on the screen are things that I perceive to be of quality.
But this is one of those things where everybody praises it so everybody knows, so I don't have to try as hard. This is a widely loved and accepted thing. People are going to watch me talk positively about this. So why should I...
Hey, he hasn't talked about the deconstruction.
I know he hasn't. And I was hoping you forgot about it.
Next episode. For instance, with the way the story sets up the core group of Gon, Killua, Leorio, and Kurapika, you'd expect them to be together throughout the entire series. It's standard in shonen anime to have a consistent
But they don't.
Naruto is not this way!
But they're not. And that's why it's different.
I just named Naruto.
That's the argument.
Though I think Hunter x Hunter came out first.
I think it was like 95 or Naruto was like 99. There's literally nowhere to check. There's just nothing. Sorry.
JoJo's.
Yes.
Dragon Ball. The Piccolo and Tien and all them just come back sometimes.
Yeah, Tien really wasn't like anything until he just popped up in the Boo saga.
So,
no, Boo.
Tien?
Yeah. He cut off Buhan's antenna.
No, I mean, we're talking about he did something in Cell. Tien?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
No, he was just gone for 80% of the Boo arc, and then he just rocked up and was just like, hey, it's me, Tien.
Yep, and they weren't there for Namek. Half of the Z Warriors weren't there for Namek.
Leorio was gone for 8 arc?
2 arcs.
Tower of Heaven.
I'm counting York.
Tower of Heaven Tower of Heaven was that's Fairy Tail.
I'm counting the Tower and York New as the same thing, sort of like a Water 7 in its lobby type thing. There was also the card game, Greed Island.
But he was there to help them try to win the card game, wasn't he?
No, what? No,
he just showed Leorio just like tapping him on the shoulder. When was that?
I don't think it was the card game. I don't think Leorio was part of the card game. I think he left, and I don't think he came back until the final arc with the chairman exam.
I thought he came back earlier.
I do not think so, sir.
How do I spell his name?
Leo Rio. Leorio.
Oh, thank you for telling me how to spell Leo.
Hey, Leo, there's something Japanese, you know what I'm saying? The culture. A little bit more authentic, if I may, you know.
He was in York New.
Okay. So he wasn't there for Greed Island, he wasn't there for Chimera Ant.
Correct. But he was not there for, he was there for the Zoldyck family, and then he was not there for Heaven's Arena. What did I call it? Heaven's Tower. Tower of Heaven.
Yeah.
I was close.
Heaven was in it.
Yeah, and then Arena. And there was
tower.
A long arena. So that's where I was thinking. I was thinking long instead of...
Yeah, I was just letting you cook.
Why'd you stop me?
Just let the cook happen.
Either we know where he's going, or he's not going anywhere, and he sounds stupid.
Oh, a shoe on a pizza, huh? All right, cool.
So yeah, Muff comes back. It's again, I don't really necessarily care about the main cast or the perceived main cast splitting off. If I like Leorio, I'm getting salty because he's not cooked. There. I laugh every time when I see that Akaido. Oh, they talking about whatever. I better keep mine here or I'm cooked. I laugh every time.
In Naruto, for example, but life...
What? Sorry.
It's standard in shonen anime to have a consistent group, like in Naruto, for example.
A consistent group?
They've splintered that group.
Was Sakura there for Hidan and Kakuzu?
Or was Sakura or Sasuke there for Fine Tsunade?
They were not. Sakura was not there for Rescue Tsunade.
And Sasuke was gone for half the series.
Did not interact with these mobs.
And Sai was basically gone after like 2 arcs. I don't think he even accompanied them on their first post. Yeah, he wasn't there. He was after the fact.
Gata was there for Rescue Gata and then didn't show up again until the 5 Kage Summit, which was like 3 arcs later. Whole big pain arc in between that. What consistent group are you? Kakashi wasn't even there for most. He had to be replaced by Yamato. It's easy to just say that.
Maybe he just means part 1 Naruto and nothing else.
But you can't say unlike Naruto when half the series is not the thing that you're...
Sasuke did literally that in the shonen exam. He left. He got stronger outside of whatever Naruto was doing. And then he came back. And he was stronger. But I guess we got to see some of it, so it was different.
I'm just saying. Sakura was not there for rescue whatever Sasuke arc, whatever, in part 1 Bush Sasuke arc. Wasn't there for search for Tsunade. It's not true. But it's a sentence that we can't extrapolate anything from.
Like in Naruto, for example. But life doesn't work like that. It's a fact we all come to terms with as we age. People's lives take different paths. And
well, when you're a kid, it kind of does work that way. And a lot of these series are children. In a lot of time, things like school.
It doesn't know. I was about to say it doesn't always work like that because you can just move and then.
I said a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying we're accounting for that 2%.
People's lives take different paths, and we all say our goodbyes eventually. So naturally and without skipping,
they come back. It's not a goodbye. It's a see you later. And they saw them later.
Eventually. So naturally and without skipping a beat, Kurapika and Leorio take off for a long time, only to pop back in and out here and there as the show progresses. The four will always remain friends, but they all have vastly different goals and ambitions. Just because you're friends doesn't mean you're always together, or that the other person can drop everything and show up when they're needed like
this. This is a bad example because these are not characters.
It's also a bad example because for the most part, they're not included. The people they're showing, Goten and Trunks is not included. Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, they're not included for large swaths of time.
Chaozu was not anything in the majority of Dragon Ball Z. Tien is just like, we need somebody for the tournament.
Go get that muff.
I guess
we ain't got nobody else.
Somebody could have split themselves and been more useful than Tien.
I mean, let's be real though, does anybody actually need Tien? He's basically Yamcha with no sense of humor and 3 eyes. Anyway, the same goes for the villains of the series, and I use that term very loosely.
You shouldn't, they're villains.
Very loosely. The line between good and bad is blurred, sometimes beyond recognition in Hunter x Hunter. Killua, the fan favorite...
in Hisoka, one of his first acts was murdering a lot of people.
But he's eccentric, so we like him.
What is the good of Hisoka? What is the blur of Hisoka? I guess in the wasn't he the York New City where he could have sold them out, he didn't.
Something like that, but it's not a good thing. He wants the fight going.
Nah, but that's the gray. He's not doing it for a good or bad thing. He's just doing it for the fight. I pre-called you, commenter.
He killed the butler just because he was kind of following him.
Yeah, but he helped him in volleyball.
Hunter x Hunter. Killua, the fan favorite best boy, is not a good person. He loves Gon, take that as you will, but he's also a vicious killer with little remorse, sometimes down to the point of sociopathy.
Yes. And?
Do they need to be quote unquote a good person? Hiei is not a good person.
Do you think Sasuke is a good person? Because I would submit no.
You are just describing traits that can be good or bad, but you're just describing them. You're not saying how they're good. You're just going, he is this thing. Yes, he is this thing. Hiei is that thing. Jolene is that thing. What of it? Say more than they are.
of sociopathy. We view him as good because we like him, and
no, I don't view him as good. He is a protagonist, and in people's mind, a protagonist is usually aligned with good. But Light Yagami was not good, and he was the protagonist. He's just not a good person.
Find me somebody who watched the scene where I think somebody bumped into him. And he's like, "Oh, I could and kill you now, but I'm not gonna." Where they were on the airship. Mm-hmm. Find me somebody where they're just like, "Yeah, good." It's like, no, that's kind of weird.
Good because we like him and because he helps our little buddy Gon and they're cute as hell together. But if you tie him to real world convention, he wouldn't just be bad, Killua would be downright terrifying. Then we have Hisoka.
What of it? What is your conclusion based upon that?
Yes.
That is the introduction, but where do you go from there? Yes, he is these things.
Has Killua ever placed himself as like a hero? Because you're saying the lines of villains, if you can even call them that, are blurred, and then you go right into Killua. Killua does not do villainous things. Just killing people in a series, depending on the world the series is inhabiting, is not a villainous thing. Like, if we're in the middle of a war and you kill people in a manga, I wouldn't count that I wouldn't count that as a villainous act, killing people as a soldier in a war in a manga.
So, who did he kill? He killed that first dude who was bragging about, ah, ha, 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 I killed 1 million people. Mm-hmm. In the tournament, he got freaked out and killed somebody.
Because of his brother's secret mind implant.
Was that it?
I'm sure he's killed a person or two. I think he killed 2 people. I think he killed 2 people that were like standing close to him. Or no. In Heaven's Arena, I think he walked up to a person's room and killed them or something. It's like, don't mistake what this is. I kill people.
Well, wait a second. You've killed me, so
I left your ear.
Wait.
And your mouth. Just looking up who he's killed.
Mm. Did he kill those 2 people that bumped into him?
Yeah, their heads are... What do you mean? Their necks are flying.
This could have been a, ooh, I wanted to. Where... They have the thing here, so is this in the Hunter exam?
It might be.
I don't remember that. Yeah, Google ain't what it used to be. I'm gonna blame Google
AI.
for this.
Bangs on his neck.
Then we have Hisoka, a hedonistic serial killer and predator. His goal in life is to find or groom people to his satisfaction in order to gain sexual pleasure from killing them. And he's very, very interested in Gon. However, he's somehow extremely likable. In fact, he's one of the most...
That's like Joker! Yeah. That doesn't make them anything. Being likable or disliked does not make you a hero or a villain.
Gray. There's no gray in there. They're entertaining to watch.
He's a bad person. I love Carnage. Carnage is a murderer and a monster. Never mistake it. By the way, you're probably going to end up having to play Spider-Man.
What do you mean?
Because one of them is Spider-Man 2 is woke propaganda.
Oh, no. I know. I was going to play it anyway. I don't know.
No, I mean, you might need to. You're going to have to play it soon.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Because these people cannot vote.
You thought that was... You thought.
Oh, you thought. They're terrible.
Oh, you thought.
Extremely likable. In fact, he's one of the most liked characters on the show. His actions, motives, loyalties, they're all as ambiguous as his insane appearance, and
they're not ambiguous. Yeah, he does everything he wants for himself.
You explained his motives. And we understand these motives as he has stated them.
He aligns with nobody. He's for himself.
exists to simply be the bad guy to beat up. He's relevant because he deeply wounded Gon's pride, which in turn winds up with them crossing paths over and over, reinstating Hisoka's lust for ending Gon's life when he's ripened. So I guess the real question we should be asking is exactly where does this show go? The answer is more or less wherever it wants to, because it was constructed in such an open way with such an open protagonist. Hunter x Hunter was given the room to
what? Give me a show that couldn't go anywhere. What are you talking about?
We got 5.5 left. We've gone more than halfway through this video.
Can these mugs learn how to talk about something?
They are. It's different. It's not the same. It's unique, special. And for that, we should all clap. I don't care how unique a thing is. I care how good a thing is. You could be the most, and we've said this 1,000 times, you could be series 89 out of series 52. Out of 52 series. Just doing the same everything else did, and you're just doing it again. But if you're good, I don't care. Oh no, will they, won't they, in Slice of Life with like 4 people wanting to get with the...
Good.
I do not care. Are the characters good? Is the setting good? Are they having fun together? Are they characters I care about? Alright then. Who cares?
No, but where could this go? It could go anywhere. Okay.
an open protagonist, Hunter x Hunter was given the room to simply explore itself. I mentioned earlier that I think Togashi-san is a bit of an anti-authoritarian and that following the outline of a power fantasy was too restricting for him and his characters in Yu Yu Hakusho. And
was he instructed to do so?
Maybe he explored that in his other video. That's the best that I can say about this.
In Yu Yu Hakusho.
No, because he said he barely mentioned them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
For him and his characters in Yu Yu Hakusho. And while every arc of Yu Yu is thematically different, there is still a need to follow shonenistic expectations. Hunter x Hunter has the same footprint.
What were those shonenistic expectations?
If a fight happens, there needs to be winner, loser. If it's a tournament, winner is the person on top, but this flips it on the head where only one person loses and everybody else wins. So instead of just one winner, there's now only one loser. What a genius. What brilliant thematic storytelling. What masterpiece-tic, iconic storytelling.
Hey, everything else did this, but I'm going to do this. Please clap.
And hey, guess what these people are doing?
Hunter x Hunter has the same footprint of drastically different arcs, but with no formula to follow due to its deconstructionism.
What the f—
I heard one of.
What is the formula? What is the deconstruction of that?
I heard a. So maybe.
Constructionism. One of the best things about the show is never knowing where it's going to go.
So I guess we all just expected what was going to happen in Naruto.
Yeah.
I guess we all just expected Joseph to die in the very beginning of JoJo's. I guess we all just expected that. For the protagonist to just die.
And then for it to go 50 years in the future to his grandson.
We all expected it. I guess we all just expected Gohan to be the person to defeat Cell.
But always being pleased.
What is deconstruction? What's the formula?
Don't worry, you've got about 5 minutes to figure it out. Or find out.
If this is gonna be your argument, please define it.
That's too hard.
Define
Can't I
it in
just say
such
it?
a way that it leaves no questions. Because
No, there should be no questions because everybody smart should already know.
everybody agrees with the premise. So why do you need to explain it?
Yes.
Hunter x Hunter is different from all these other shows. Yes, it is.
It's
Absolutely.
deconstructionist.
Yes, it is. So why do you need to explain it when you're preaching to the choir?
Yeah. So many of these positive videos are already preaching to the converted. So why would you need to go out of your way to analyze a series when you can literally regurgitate Reddit topics
World building.
until
He
you
hasn't
reach
mentioned Nin or the Chimera Antark.
Being pleased when you get there. By throwing out convention, Togashi-san threw out predictability, but because we're so
What was predictable in Hunter Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yusuke dying. Guess that was just predictable in Chapter Black. Predictability. Predictable!
throughout predictability, but because we're so indoctrinated by shonen style, we automatically expect certain motifs to be followed. Time and time again,
What are the motifs?
He said time and time again, Hunter x Hunter subverts souls.
Or time and time again, we see these things, but Hunter x Hunter doesn't do these things.
Hunter will subvert those expectations.
Nope, you got it. You got it in one. Hit the
Easy
PGA.
clap, boys.
All in one, buddy.
Easy claps.
Time and time again, Hunter x Hunter will subvert those expectations and leave you with absolutely no idea what's coming around the next corner.
But didn't you say earlier that the whole thing about deconstruction isn't that it's just subverting our expectations, and now you're just praising it for subverting expectations? Didn't you deride people as trying to sound smart by saying these things, and now you're literally just saying these things?
What's coming around the next corner. Even the power system known as Nen has nothing to do with
Dude, what, did you write this video?
It's just all, it's laid out here. It's all in front of me.
This is following the convention.
No.
Yo, are they deconstructing video? Are they deconstructing different arguments from video analysts for a single series by constantly doing the same argument for this series? So they're deconstructing the deconstruction, so their deconstruction is deconstructing deconstruction itself? Is that what we're doing here? It's like 18 layers
It's not
of cooking.
that deep. This is just some bum that can't explain. Don't even try. This is like Toriyama. There was in panel at Youmacon that was just like Dragon Ball Z is deep. It's like, no, it's not. No!
Corey wanted you to live
What am I going to do with that? As he's talking about Buddhism and Taoism and all this No! And they're looking into this tingly back.
And you get to literally hear people clap.
I couldn't take it. I could not take it.
Woo!
It has nothing to do with how powerful you are, but how you choose to manifest said power. Even still, there is a rock, paper, scissors aspect to Nen abilities.
That's a misconception. It's not like an RPG where one thing is blah, blah, blah. Because I've re-looked into Nen deeply. It's not really a rock, paper, scissors where an enhancer can beat an emitter of 100 and 100. It's not like that.
It is in the second Hunter x Hunter movie, if you want to partake in that. As it is the worst shonen movie I've ever seen. To this
Why don't
day,
you get a couple more episodes or check it out and then suggest something to me?
I would rather do a couple of those Naruto movies because there's some rough stuff in them. Them boys go off the wall. They did not care. They know. They're like, we know what you're here for. Here's the Rainbow Rasengan. You happy?
Why would there be a Rainbow Rasengan, and why would it be any stronger than the regular Rasengan?
Where's my quote? Where is that? My favorite Minato quote, by which I mean the only Minato quote I know.
And it came from the Naruto movie?
Yes, it did.
Was it one of the good ones at least?
No.
I still have not seen Naruto the last.
When similar chakra natures merge, they strengthen each other. And when that happens, the end result is an ultimate supreme Rasengan.
Did Goku T23 write that?
I just wrote, they can just say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. You're not here for this. And then I just wrote, where's the bug Rasengan? Because I'm just like, where's Shino? That was most of my commentary in the movie. Like, whatever, but where's Shino? And then Shino would show up, do the most bosh, and then just walk out of frame. And I'm like, well, that got a point.
I think I still have your recording of Naruto movie, one of the Naruto movies with the Discord. I should bad movie day that. I should bad movie day that. Let me see if I can find that. I might need to bad movie day that.
That statue part, and the real ones know. That statue part.
Said the real ones know.
Prison thing, the prison one was low key one of the worst movies, and it's not even one of the worst movies. Yo, them Naruto.
So
movies.
worst Bleach movie, worst Naruto movie, or the Hunter x Hunter movie? Rank them.
Hunter x Hunter.
Jesus Christ!
It's the worst that I've ever seen.
Jesus Christ!
Hands down, the worst I've ever seen.
What are we doing? What happened in that movie?
Does the phrase dark nin mean anything to you? It shouldn't.
But dark medical ninjutsu.
Dark They didn't give a single crap.
No. There's so many different types of jutsu, so many different types of like latent abilities that you can add dark in front of. Why of all things would the healing one be the dark medical ninjutsu?
Oh my! This is unhinged. I literally forgot Sai existed. Shino is here in all caps. He took out 3 ships by himself. Dark chakra is the next phrase.
Just gave up.
Darkness of the heart becomes actual chakra. I have forgotten about that.
Oh no!
Unhinged.
Well, alright then. Oh, you didn't give me the other 2. Hunter x Hunter #1.
Oh, Naruto Bleach.
Really? That Bleach Hour movie was not? Jesus Christ.
One of them I gave... I know I gave that one the dark one is a D. No, Dark Chakra was an F.
Ooh.
That one was a C minus.
Okay, okay.
The Minato one was a D minus.
Mm-hmm. Dang, outright F, boys. F in the chat, boys.
The first one was a D. The first,
yeah.
The Dark Medical Ninjutsu was a D. So I gave one an F. I don't think I could give the worst Bleach movie an F. Okay. It is
but you can for the Hunter x Hunter one.
Below an F.
F minus.
Is not even on the scale. You didn't show
incomplete.
No matter how powerful you may be, if you come up against somebody whose power is super effective against yours, you're basically fucked. Therefore, a far heavier emphasis is placed on brains over brawn.
No, that's also not factual. It's more so that certain abilities make you think more rather than just out punching a person. Like Knuckles, you can't just out punch him. You gotta think a little bit more about. Well, technically, you can out punch him, but you gotta think a little bit more.
Hunter x Hunter, which is generally antithetical to your typical shonen. And the way these characters think
JoJo.
is something that is deliberately shown in the show's
JoJo. Their moms was getting on our neck about the sun, but that's not
real.
a punch fight. Say what you want about it, it's not a punch fight.
I think it was Gavin that said the Sun is like a bottom 10 fight, but in all of JoJo's, if everything else is like a 7.5 and an 8, it's not like the Sun is a 4, and that's why
I think they think the sun.
Yeah, no, I understand. But just going bottom 10 doesn't mean anything if a fight is a 6. Like, it's fine. The Sun is a fine fight. I like the Sun.
But even if you go back to Dragon Ball, Goku was like, Frieza cannot sense energy, so I'm gonna go underneath the water and do 2 Kamehamehas and poop them up. I don't know if that was filler or not, but that was strategy in that fight.
A lot of Dragon Ball had strategy. The original Dragon Ball. Until it got to really Tao Pai Pai. And then it just started becoming more, let me just punch him off.
excellent animation. Every episode of this anime is
Who could have possibly? Not even you.
So,
Bumstradamus.
no! But the explanation about Nin, I'm just leaning back because I'm just tired of this budge.
The compressor's gonna go on. It's gonna make the lows high and the highs low. It don't matter.
But he just goes, Nin is this. It makes you think. Moving on.
A lot of this video has been, I'm gonna say the thing and then move on. Did he watch Hunter x Hunter?
I would expect him to put out higher quality if he's going to begin the video by going, I need muns.
No. I would expect you to put out a video that an audience will be receptive to.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And not to say that his, not morality or whatever, but his, I can't think of the word I'm looking here, wavered just for the money.
feature film quality. Facial animation is not only on point, but it can tell the story without words. Fights are meaningful, thought out, and dangerous. They have real consequence, and winning isn't always a triumphant thing. Winning
How does it have real consequence?
Go on, I'm gonna use all the power that I want right now. And then you do. And then you punch.
People die in Yu Yu Hakusho.
What is, that's not a consequence.
Okay.
What's the consequence?
They killed the kid.
What kid?
Game Master.
No, that's not what happened.
Literally just like, yo, you know what's about. Trick the kid so they could kill him.
And then what happened?
He
Everything
died.
Turned out fine.
And then Yusuke died.
Everybody won.
They all had to watch Yusuke die.
This is different.
Oh.
I hate it.
So isn't what always happens. Gon gets his ass kicked a lot. He often has to run away, rethink, regroup. Time and time again, he finds himself surrounded by unthinkable odds, and instead of finding the mystical power he had inside.
But then, how many of the Chimera ants did he just run through?
Yep. How much of that was just, hey, we gotta get stronger?
Once Killua did the mind thing, that one Chimera ant that they had a problem with, he just one-shot. They had to go, hey, we got a plan for the bomb, dude. And he goes, no, I'm going to do it this way. And he still won.
All along, he either books it, figures it out, or gets beat into the mud. There's a certain realism in this high fantasy world of expert seekers and a weight to actions taken by hunters in any field.
You see how he only showed that one?
Yeah.
His Hisoka fight. Yep. And then there was the first Hisoka fight where he was just like, I just need to fish in line his thing.
actions taken by hunters in any field they occupy. But what truly makes Hunter x Hunter so great is its unshakable universe that it exists in. There are good shows, and then there are stories you never want to end. The greatest works of fiction in the
All things need to end.
The universe it exists in. There are good stories, and then there are things you don't want to end. What do you mean that the universe... Unless he's going to go into the next sentence.
Why do you think, at this point...
He has to.
Want to end. The greatest works of fiction in the modern age: Star Wars, Harry Potter, One Piece, Game of Thrones.
Harry Potter?
Sucks. Good.
You're not going to make any... I would say...
Left or right?
I would say that Star Wars has a lot of good ideas.
Yep.
It has some good execution within them.
Yep.
It is largely not good.
Yep.
Especially for the times now.
Yep.
A Marvel back then with all of the figurines and the practical effects and the robots and the costumes. Now, a little boring.
Yep.
Harry Potter, we have not talked about that as we should have.
It's terrible. It's not a good series.
It is not terrible. But as with Star Wars, there will come a day where we sit down and we hash out all of the things that we think about these things.
I'm gonna make a list.
It's gonna be a short list then, if that's the case. You know, well, this could have been improved a little bit.
Number 1, suck. And list.
Well, no, more.
So what's he saying about these series?
Star Wars, Harry Potter, One Piece, Game of Thrones all have the same thing in common. It's a clockwork-like world where every cog in the machine affects another and allows the story to tick.
Okay.
How did that happen to Harry Potter?
Do you know the friendly bartender? That was actually Dumbledore's brother. Huh?
Okay, how did he allow the world to tick?
Huh? He ran the bar. He allowed them to meet in there and do in secret, but he's just like, nah, these kids, I know, it's cool. If it was anybody else, they would have been told on. I'm starting to turn you on Harry Potter. I'm starting to turn you on Harry Potter. I see it in your face. No, that's not what happened.
They were literally snitched on.
No, the world turns because of people like him. It's a functioning world.
She had no ideas.
Hey, goblins and their lot in life is just to do the bank stuff.
Yep, just money.
Hey, happy slaves.
Yep. They love it. They want to be slaves.
This is not okay. It's not.
The world says it is.
And one of them was just like, oh, we'll get you paid. And then they just go on a rampage. It's like, I'm not getting paid.
You insult me, sir.
My ancestors are spitting on me because you talking about paying me.
Dobby's got clothes and they're all just like, oh, that's the weirdo. Spit on him.
He's getting paid. He's getting fairly compensated for his work.
How dare.
This is not okay.
This is what y'all clapping for? This is the series?
It's got some bad stuff in it, all right? It's got some...
The time turners.
Yeah, she got rid of them. What's the problem?
Cause
I'm
sorry,
no
all of them in...
Yeah, 100. They were all here. None of them was written it out. What?
And they're the only ones with time turner building technology.
Hey.
And can't build any future time turners. They're just gone forever.
Yep. Dumbledore had it and he died, and with it, the secrets of the time turner. The brain thing where they put the thing, the pensive, we can't know. No? Nobody wrote it down, huh? They're just all there. Lost magic, that was. Yo, she went the run back, the fastest. The fifth book was like, they all gone. Stop asking about them.
The fourth book, they were probably like, hey, he just time turner his way.
Because if Dumbledore was just, just click, 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 because they went back like half a day. So Harry comes up, Dumbledore goes, oh, don't worry about that, pimp.
Oh, you still need a little bit more time? I got you.
Yeah. Oh, the port key, you say? And he's just there behind the rock, just pew, and just blasts off in Voldemort one shot. Yeah. No, there was an issue. She resolved the issue. What's the problem?
She created an issue, had no way out of it. It just went X. Just put a giant X over Time Turner.
So we can stop asking about it.
So we're just cool with legitimately the 6th book being about rape.
Well, we have to be. There's no choice. Hey, luck potion? What? 6 books without it? 1 book without it? Hey, no, it's fine. Never mention again.
Nor before.
Before again. Never again. What of it?
What did he do to get that?
Fat Man had it. Slughorn had it.
Okay.
He was just like, here you go.
There's no way that's the way it happened. I thought he like won it in a contest.
It was a potions thing.
Okay. I remembered as much as at least with him winning. Yeah. He won it over Hermione.
Yeah, don't you remember Hermione was she had made like a sludge one, and he made the perfect one, and it had the wisp of smoke that it was supposed to have.
No, I think he presented a Bizarre. Everybody else was up, and he just pulled out a Bizarre. The poison for the anti-poison. That
could have been it.
But I was just like, that's ingenious.
But I remember the sludge thing as well. No. And Hermione was frustrated.
I think everybody had a real problem with it, and Harry was just going to be like, Half-Blood Prince is going to save me again. Mm-hmm. But you needed to be actually good at things to accomplish it. And he was not good at the thing. So he couldn't accomplish it.
I think that's
so he just remembered what Snape said from book 1, dug in the cupboard, and went.
Yeah, it's a world. Yo, Harry Potter, pretty bad.
It's really bad. It's a really bad.
But we will talk about that one day. The luck potion is just raw. Like, you can't just do that.
Nope.
And just never do it again. It was like, oh, Harry can't use it because he felt the luck was just wearing off after so many different, but like, everybody else?
Oh, so he just, how did the luck just wear off? So they've got person-changing technology that does not wear off. It's not like you drink a bunch of polyjuice potion and it's just like, I can only do it for 3 minutes now because my body's used to it. But the liquid luck has a thing limit?
Yeah. I remember it was just like repeated uses makes it less and less effective. It's meant to be used sparingly as it causes the drinker to succumb to giddiness, recklessness, blah, 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 blah.
Giddiness? Who cares?
Banned substances, all organized competitions. How do you check for that? How do you just... Whatever. I could have sworn it was something like...
I can't imagine.
I could have sworn
that the magic potion will force you to not use it all the time.
Yeah, the sensation, inspiration, accomplishes his goal. Someone in tune to their own fate. Infinite possibilities. It is unclear whether Felix wearing off increased the bad luck. I could have limitations. The potion's effectiveness seems to wane after a certain amount of time, as it did in Harry Potter's situation when he made his way back to the Gryffindor common room and ran into Peeves. Overdosing is dangerous. Over reluctance.
Reliance. I would say.
Reliance. Due to this effect. Are you kidding me? I could have sworn.
Look who's wrong again. Wrong again.
Whatever.
Somebody doesn't know the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And how terrible of a series.
I could have sworn it was something like that. It's fine, though. You can't use it.
It's a 4 out of 10 series on its best.
I think that you will find it more favorable upon a reread.
No. I'm going to really want to dig into it, so I'm going to actually read it. I was going to say I'll audiobook it, but no. I'm going to read these bits. What were we listening to?
Something about... Man.
For every cog in the machine affects another and allows the story to tick.
How did that happen to Harry Potter? That's what I was saying.
Constantly aware that while your focus is being drawn to an individual, a million other tiny, intricate things are going on within the world that you...
Things happen outside of the main character that happens in practically every story. Are you telling me that didn't happen in Yu Yu Hakusho? Are you telling me that didn't happen in Naruto? Are you telling me that didn't happen in Bleach? Are you telling me these series do not have this thing where things outside of what we see are happening outside of our knowledge?
know about. Every character has a story of their own outside the role they play in the specific narrative.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't hear that 5 minutes ago.
The protagonist is profound enough to leave you wondering if it would be better to follow them around for a while. Artificial scarcity of background information leaves you guessing and hoping your questions will be answered.
Well, it's good because we don't know a lot about them. That's why it's good. They don't explain, so it's clap. You can't be. We can't be here as a species.
You have to praise something in a way that I don't have any information, and that's a good thing.
Because then it leaves the mystery. That's what Mike was talking about, that cup. I like the mystery. What's going on in the back? What planet are they on in Star Wars? What did it amount to?
He's blinded by Star Wars love, though.
He's blinded by all love.
He's a very passionate individual when he likes something.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
The inquisitive nature of human beings becomes wrapped up in worlds like this when just enough information is divvied out to spark your imagination. When I said
You got any examples, sir?
Hey, we don't know a lot, so you can think up your own story, and that's a clap.
I'd like an example.
Show is my favorite anime. I meant it. But it's my favorite because of what it represents. A time gone, memories that I cherish, and a style.
No, why can't it be your favorite? Because it's good! Because it's good!
Because you like it the most.
It is a good show! But you're just like, nostalgia and kid time that what?
I think it's about time for my annual rewatch of the Dark Tournament.
I like Jin the Wind Master.
What's wrong
He don't
with
remind me of shit. And that's fine.
On memories that I cherish and a style that I deeply miss. I love its characters and ideas and attitude. However, if I was to compare it to Hunter x Hunter on any critical level, there is no competition, other than the fact that the latter is a little harder to get into. However, what Togashi-san has proven is that going against the grain is where true inspiration is found.
Here it is. He's about to talk about the non-conventions, baby.
This is the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. And now we're about to get the meat of we done had 17 appetizers, and now the entrees out here. Let's bring it on.
True inspiration is found. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is by far my least favorite saying. If it ain't broke, break it. Innovation comes from taking things apart and building something new. You may have noticed that I didn't spoil anything so far in this video, and I don't plan to. There are so many people who still haven't watched this series, and I want to give our audience that opportunity before I blow your goddamn minds with how insane Hunter x Hunter becomes.
Is this a trailer to the actual video? Did we get hit with the woo-wop of season 0?
The actual video has not come, so we are not. I'm still on.
Then who was swapped?
Comes from tournament arcs to some crazy Italian jobs to going into a video game and eventually ending up in a bizarro North.
You didn't go into a video game. You were still in the real world. It just teleported you into an island that was in the real world.
Faced with the morality of genocide. It gets deep. It gets dark.
No, we're not faced with the morality of genocide. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what's the morality? These people are evil, except for the ones that aren't evil for some reason.
And protect them and wipe the evil ones out.
I don't need the ones that are just like, yeah, kids' brains.
It's not some ambiguous, oh, they're evil because they're trying to feed them. They're eating people gleefully. They're not trying to work a thing out with a human. They're trying to enslave them and make them cattle and eat them. I swear one day I will write a positive Hunter x Hunter video about the parallels of the Chimera Ant arc and how we're looking at it like it's so evil they want to treat people like cattle without looking at it as, hey, we do the same to animals below us. We are below the Chimera Ants. That's the conversation you should be having. And the morality of it, because it's affecting someone like you.
Hey, wait a second. I don't want to be eaten. Crunch.
I'm fire up that grill because I sure am hungry.
It's deep. It gets dark. And I'm so excited to go over my thoughts about it in the future. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you hit that bell. That's the only way you're gonna...
We're done. We got a minute 20 left. We're done.
Yeah, what did you think was going to happen?
I thought it was going to be...
Oh.
And believe me, you are not going to want to miss it. I cannot tell you.
It's impossible not to miss it when it didn't come out.
You are not going to want to miss it. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am right now about where the channel is. We have just stockpiled this excellent list of shows, and we have a bunch more that we are going to be covering in the future, but now we have this option to go back and retread ground and go even farther into specific characters and plot points and arcs. Make sure that you hit that bell. That's the important part. I just wanted to take a second to say thank you to everybody who came to the Kappa video and showed your support. Patreon exploded last week in a way that we haven't seen before, and it's fantastic. Like we need it so much right now, and it is, I just can't say thank you enough. It's incredible how far $1 a month can actually get somebody. And with that, just like always, it is time for the super ultimate lucky patron of the week. This week it is Isan Morgan. Morgan, thank you so much for becoming our patron. We really appreciate all of your help. You are the best. Don't ever forget that. And as this is scrolling around, I tell you to check out our social media at Bonsai_Pop on Twitter and Instagram.
They still do about $3,800 a month.
That's crazy. You guys are awesome. So thank you so much for watching.
They have 9 tiers, including a $15,000 tier.
What? That's got to be the joke. Right?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Oh, no. We'll take you on a VIP tour of Disneyland or World. Your choice is
You're paying for it!
Yeah. $1,000 Patreon. If you, so not only do you get everything else, but for you, we'll actually take a trip to Japan. Okay.
What? Why?
They, for $500, you can get some of their bathwater.
But for this, we'll actually take a trip to Japan. Why is that a positive for you, the person giving $1,000?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Sure. That's like an 8.
Yeah, I ain't really saying that.
I'm sick of it. That's why we don't do Hunter Hunters. It's the same deconstruction.
Lack of explanation. Nah, so great.
Different. Unlike this is. And they don't, it's with rinse, repeat.
Ad infinitum.
Shut up.
Until the death of the universe. till end old time days.
Can't praise this no other way. So unlike this is.
Hey, you like this, but it's not this, so you also will like this. Don't know what we're doing Saturday. Yeah.
Never do, unless we do.
Well, we're doing Lily at some point on a Saturday this month.
Yep.
Which would mean it would have to be either this Saturday or next Saturday.
It would. It would.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
You would think. Oh, I never even mentioned that there was a little bit of story behind this. That this was the original video we were gonna do before my TV got busted. So y'all would have had this a month ago.
I wish we would have had done this a month ago.
Why?
Just
so it'd just be over with.
Yeah.
It's over with now. Well, not to the fish jumps, but there's not even like post video banter to do.
Because it's just in this baby it's different. That's all they always got. Or humanity versus whatever bull chimera ant.
There's so few. Like, I've never seen an analyst just stop and actually think about why that theme works. Like, what is it about it with the whole, especially the Netero and the nuke thing, the unfathomable cruelty of humans and such.
They just accept that line.
It's a cool line. And cool.
But they don't think about it.
What's there to think about when you're talking about rule of cool? What's
there to think about? Hey, he's in the middle of the desert with nobody around. What cruelty?
He's wiping out his species, except the ones that survive, because they were the good ones.
A little ant girl got reunited with her mom. And the mom's all happy the same. That's fine. Hooray.
She sees past the exterior to the humanity of her child.
Theme. It's just not very good at the end of the day.
No.
And it's never gonna end.
Nope. Maybe one day it will end when, like, the next thing like it comes around. Because I feel like One Punch Man was very much starting to hit that conversation before season 2 happened. No, the animator.
What was the conversation?
Deconstruction of both shonen, where it's supposed to be this grand back and forth battle, and instead it's
but
just
I don't know. What's the deconstruction?
Shut the I'm saying what they said. I have no arguments for it. Don't question it. Just listen to the words. Plus, I think it was a deconstruction of superhero stuff in their mind, which I think they also think My Hero is a little bit, thanks to the quirks. Some quirks having
deconstruction over and over again. Enough. Sound the alarm. Hit him with the woo wop and the wee woo, and then shove off.
What
else is there? What other? Is that it? Stop coming to these.
Stop coming to thee.
That's all the endings wrapped in one.